Hi, Brad.
Hey, Charlie.
How are you today?
Good, good.
So today, as we discussed in our last video, we like to talk about Canadian workplace culture. So today I'll be the interviewer and you will be the guest and
Okay,
answer
I'll be the guest.
Those,
Hello.
those questions.
I'm the guest.
Yeah. So as I told you last time in my video, I have lived in Canada almost 18 years, but still there was some myth and some confusion, and I couldn't understand why some Canadians, some of my co-workers and my bosses and how they react and then behave. So I think I'd like to ask a couple of questions to Brad to have better understanding. So, Brad, why are different from my Korean perspective? Workplace culture is very different, especially the relationship with your boss.
Right.
And so, could you tell us about some of those differences?
Sure. Now, and I was thinking about what I said last time, where I said there is no difference between a worker and a boss, and everybody speaks up and everybody speaks their mind. And I think I wasn't quite right. Thinking about it more, there is a hierarchy even in Canada. And I know in Korea there's a strong hierarchy between boss and someone who's below it, and the idea of respect and being quiet and is important. It's important in Canada too, but it's not so strict. Do you know what I mean by that?
Kind of, still I don't get it. So what does that mean? Kind of.
Okay, so if I'm in a meeting and I'm with my boss and I'm with coworkers, and some coworkers might have a bigger title than I do and some might have a less title. In the meeting, everybody who has knowledge of the subject is free to speak. And they are encouraged to speak. And if you don't speak, generally somebody thinks it's because you don't have knowledge, or you have nothing to say, or you don't care, which is even worse.
Right.
And so the idea of being quiet because of a sense of hierarchy is not normal. But that doesn't mean there isn't a hierarchy.
I think you made a very good point. When I first started working here in Canada, in government, when I had a meeting, I had a very difficult time. When can I jump in? Because in Korean culture, we always respect other people's view and we wait until they completely finish it. But sometimes the other person jump in. So I couldn't have the time, getting the timing, and then so it was very difficult because already listen first and then we wait. And then another thing is for Korean culture, unless I have very 100% sure, we do not usually speak up. That's another thing. And when can I jump in, not being rude to co-workers or other people? So how can you explain and then what kind of relationship there in a meeting and for people?
Okay. So I think you touched on 2 points. One is, what is the trigger point in a conversation where there's an opening to speak? So there are times when you just want to listen, and that if you jumped in and spoke, it would be rude, even in a normal meeting. So there's everybody is listening for a pause and a conclusion to a point somebody was making. and then they may have ideas in their head rolling around. They still wait. They just don't speak it out like a child. They still wait. But they wait until there's a correct pause in the concept or the idea. And if you have something to add or to say, I don't agree with that, that's when you make it. But you don't make it just because you have an idea, and you don't not make it because it's disrespectful for somebody to disagree with them. But you make it at a certain period of time, and as you know, that probably took a while to figure out when that time was.
Right, I think that's a very good point because it's very subtle, right? You have to catch when there's a pause, right? And then he made his point, and then now he concluded. And then so now it's good time, right?
Yes.
to jump in and then express your view. So I think it takes time, and then